Welcome to Learning to Code with Scratch, the Scratch Toolbox Series brought to you by Robotics. Hey everybody, Lego Man Dan here. Today we are going to be working towards the tail end of the Scratch Toolbox tutorial series. Today we wanted to go ahead and show you how to add a start screen to your game. So you've learned a lot about how to add motion, backdrops, sprites, sounds, broadcast messages, scoring, timing, just a little bit of everything through the Toolbox tutorial. You need to start making your own awesome games. Today I want to show you how to make a start menu. So typically, again, you go and play a game, it has a start screen, and typically it'll have information, it might have instructions, you usually have a button to say start the game. So what we want to do today is show you how to add that to your game, so your game isn't just your game pieces on the field ready to go. It can actually be a button that makes your game look a lot more professional. So before we get into it though, please go ahead, follow us, like, subscribe, smash that notification button. We've got so many more awesome videos coming. Don't want you to miss a thing. We've got a new Lego tutorial series coming on how to build creative motorized things with Legos. So many awesome things coming. So make sure you go ahead, follow us, like, subscribe. Make sure you can get access to all the cool videos coming. But today, let's talk about how to build a start screen. So we're already into Scratch. Again, if you haven't watched the series, go back, watch episodes 1 through 8. They are extremely helpful and will get you to the point where we are now. As you've seen, we're already in the Scratch app. We're going to go ahead and get everything cleared off. So we don't need our Sprite Cat today. So let's go ahead and say goodbye to Sprite Cat. We are going to just add a couple of simple sprites, and we're going to add one backdrop. So let's go ahead. First, we'll go over here. We'll choose a backdrop. I'm just going to grab the Arctic one. Again, we're not going to be building code for our sprites today. This is going to simply show you how to build the start game button and how to switch from the start game to your actual game. So we're just going to put a backdrop in here. We're going to go ahead and add 2 sprites. And since we're up in the Arctic, let's go add a penguin. And we'll add this guy because he looks kind of right for the scene. And he's going to go looking for a fish. So we'll go ahead back. We'll add a sprite. And we'll just add a simple fish to the game. Again, we're not going to be coding these sprites to do anything today. We're just simply going to be having them in there so we can show you how you would set up your game to jump from the start game menu to the actual game itself. Now that we've got our game, right, this is our simulated backdrop, simulated sprites, we need to add a backdrop for the game itself. Now we'll go over here to backdrops, we'll do a search, and you can see here under patterns, there's some really nice basic ones depending on the theme you want. Nothing's really going to fit what we want. All the other ones are pretty detailed. So they may work. If you were doing something music related, you could do the stage, kind of put your start game buttons there. There's different stuff you can go with. Nothing's really jumping out for my game. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go to paint. And what I want to do is, since we're in the Arctic, I want to go with a nice light ice zone. I'm going to go ahead and set my fill color to the light blue. I'm going to grab a rectangle and I'm going to build the rectangle over my entire backdrop area, so when it comes up, it is completely white. Now you will notice we don't see our Arctic backdrop, but you do see the penguin and the fish, and don't worry about that right now. We'll get to those guys in a bit. If they're in your way, you can always click over to them, get them out of the way, then click back on the backdrops. So first thing we want to do, we've created the backdrop. We're going to change the costume name for this backdrop to Start Screen. We'll go up here, type that in where it says start screen. So you know what this background is called versus your game background. You also know there's a default backdrop here. That's the white screen that started. We're going to delete that. So all we have is our start screen and our Arctic game screen. So we'll go back to start screen. First thing I want to do is I want to kind of create just a little thing to give it some depth and some different color. I'm going to make it a little bit darker on my brightness. I'm going to leave my outline. But I'm going to pick an oval. I don't know, it just feels like it should be an oval shape for the start screen. And obviously I can kind of move it around, get it centered the way I want. And then it's got a nice little black backdrop. along with, or black border along with our light blue backdrop. So this is kind of my backdrop. And remember, with backdrops, we don't interface with backdrops. They're the visual of the game. So my button for my game actually has to be a sprite. So we're going to go over here to our choose a sprite. We're going to click paint. We've already got some nice colors in there. I want to make this one another shade of blue. So we'll go even lighter on this one. And then I'm just going to kind of draw in another oval. The size doesn't matter because we'll be able to resize it when we build our game. And then we can center it however we want here. If I want to try to make it a little smaller here so I don't have to do it in the game, I can do that as well. And then move it up there. And I got a pretty nice little one. I don't know, I want it a little more ovally. Then what I'm going to do is in this button, I want to have start game. So I'm going to go ahead and click my fill, set it all the way to black so my text is black. Make sure I click on my text box, come over here, and I'm going to type start game. Now that's a little off, and that's okay, because I can go over here, click, slide it around, and get it perfectly centered like that. And now on my backdrop, I have a start game button because that's the code that's here. First thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and create the code for our start button. So go ahead and click on code. And what we want is the game to start when we click on start game. So we're going to go to our events and we're going to grab the block that says when this sprite clicked. Okay, we don't care about the green flag so much here. We're going to use that to start the game or to start this screen. But then we need this button to actually start the game. We'll get into that in a minute. But so we're going to actually use some broadcast message. And we're going to create a broadcast message. So we're going to go down here to where it says broadcast. When the sprite clicks, broadcast message 1. And we're actually going to name this message. So we'll go down here, we'll click new message, and we'll call it start game. Keep it nice and simple. And when we start the game, we don't want to see the button anymore. So we're going to go up here to the looks tab. We're going to scroll down and we're going to click hide. This will actually allow us to hide the start game button. Okay, that's going to be part of our code. The other part of our code that we're going to need to have is we're going to need to show this button along with showing the backdrop when we start the game. Okay, so this is where we will use the green flag click. So you go to events, green flag clicked, go to looks, we're going to say show. And that will make sure our button shows up when a user clicks our go to start our game. We're also going to add the same code to the backdrop. So to do that, I'm just going to click on the backdrop. You see there's code here. Go to events, when green flag clicked, go to looks, but we're going to switch to start screen. So when the green flag clicked, show the start screen. So if I click on it, nothing happens because we haven't told it to do anything. But when we do click the start game button, you see that hide, right? Because we haven't told it to go to the Arctic screen where our bird and our fish, our penguin here and our fish will be hunting around. What we want to do is we want to switch the backdrops so we can deal with the Arctic at the same time. So you click on backdrops, go over here to Arctic, okay? We're going to go to our code, go to our events, okay? And you see when the green flag is there, and that's okay. What we want is when I receive start game, looks, switch to background, Arctic. So now we go here, click on game, we get our Arctic. If I click on the green, I'm on the start screen, start game. Now you will notice when I do that, we still have our birds, our bird and our fish. And we obviously don't want our bird and our fish to be on this screen. So we have to deal with code for them as well. So we're going to go to our fish. Okay, we're going to go to our events and say we're going to add 2. When green flag clicked, we're going to do a looks and we're going to tell it to hide the fish. When I receive the start game message, show. And then what you would do under these is you would add your code for whatever the fish does during the course of the game. This is just to make sure they're hiding and showing at the right time. So again, if I hit green flag, no more fish, right? We still have our penguin, but no more fish. I hit start game, fish appears. We're going to add this same code to the penguin. Now what's cool is when you're adding code to multiple sprites or to backdrops or to anything, you don't have to go to it, copy, paste, drag, go. You can just do this, right? If I take this code and I go over here to the penguin and I do that, I just dropped a copy of the when green flag click. So now if I click the penguin, it's there. Go back to the fish, take my when I receive start game, drag it over the penguin, let it go. It goes right back to here. But if I go, oh, didn't do it that time. All right, go back, fishy. We'll try it again. Let's try that. Oh, it did go. It hid right over. One of the problems is, and that's a good thing, I'm glad I did that, and I forgot that it does that. When you copy and paste code to another screen, it drops it in the same place right on top. So because this was actually bigger than that, it made it look like it didn't bring it over. But it actually did. So if you look, same code on fish, same code on penguin. Click the green flag, everything's gone. Click the start game, everything's there. Hopefully this gave you a great way to do a start screen. What I'm going to do in our final episode for this 10-part series of the Toolbox is I'm going to show you how to add instructions for your game. Thank you for tuning in. Comment below if there is something you would like to see us add to the series. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you can keep up on our latest coding and robotics videos.